Check, check, mic check. There we go. Hey, we're live. All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to another live stream from Techspin. I'm Rick.
I'm Shane.
And we got some good headlines for you today, so let's get started. First up, we have things that are working. There we go. We have the Nvidia. They decided to cancel their GeForce partner program amidst backlash from the community. Basically, yeah, I said it last week too. It's kind of a dick move, you know, for them to try and say, oh, you can only use these brands with with our cards, and you can't use the same branding. Like, you know, what if you have a top tier line that you use for all your gaming cards? So basically, this article is from WCCFtech.com, and so Nvidia said the rumors, conjectures, and mistruths. Rather than battling misinformation, we've decided to cancel the program. What misinformation is that? You know, they're pretty specific with their the associate vendors if they want the first access to their chipset so they can make cards. You have to be on the program. So there's no mistruths about that. There's no misinformation about that.
Well, I mean, did they actually say in the statement what mistruths they were talking about, or did they just actually generally imply that there was a mistruth and they thought that they were being treated unfairly?
Yeah, in their article, it just basically says, you know, instead of trying to fight the misinformation, but I mean, it was pretty specific as to what you had to do to apply for this program, which would keep your, first access to big name vendors like, Asus, EVGA, MSI, all the rest, ASRock. Yeah. You have to sign on in order to get first access. Otherwise, you'll be second or third tier. And then, of course, you'll miss the buying frenzy when the new graphics cards goes out. Yeah. So, I mean, what misinformation is there for that? That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah, so
fake news.
Yeah, but good on Nvidia for seeing that their folly and getting rid of this crappy program. So there you go.
Okay, up next, for all you Apple users out there, MacBook Pro users petition Apple to recall and replace defective keyboards.
Yeah, so...
Sorry, I'm actually trying to suppress a cough. I've been a little bit under the weather lately.
It's all good. Yeah, so basically, MacBook Pro users they've had actually defective keyboards in the MacBook since, I think it's like 2012 MacBook released, but especially the 2015 and 2016, according to the article, had serious problems with the butterfly design. So, yeah, basically they said, we're tired of this, and get this, the cost fix for this, if because it's, especially if it goes out of warranty or something like that, would be $700 US to fix a keyboard, which is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, price point has never been a big consideration when going with a Mac. Mac users are amazingly loyal, and there's lots of really good quality features over the years that have come with Mac. Yeah. Personally, I've never really been a big fan, but, like a lot of times for, casual users, new users, or, people who are maybe starting out a business in, like, video production, graphic editing, or web design. Macs they let you get started a whole lot sooner. The bit that they did with the magnetic power cable, that was an awesome feature, but other things...
And it's true, like, Mac is great for innovation, and because of their innovation, they've actually driven the market to greater heights or greater usability, which is fantastic. Yeah. The problem is with their service practices. If you sell something, you should be able to service it, and as we've seen on the Linus Tech Tips, they had a brand new iMac, and it was broken, and they were willing to pay full price to fix it. And you have those diehard Apple loyalists that say, "Well, why don't you just buy a new one?" It's like, seriously, okay,
because I don't have $2,000 to spend on a laptop.
It's not $2,000; it's $5,000.
Oh, is it now?
No, I mean, it's not a laptop; it's actual iMac. Like,
desktop
unit, right? Yeah. And the thing is, the cost of the screen or power supply or motherboard, whatever you have there, won't come up to $5,000. There's no way. And Apple should service their products. And
I definitely agree.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, I'm not taking a stance against Apple. And by the way, I said like $700. It should be up to $700. It could be cheaper than that. It could be $200 or $400, something like that.
Yeah.
But if you sell a product, you should be able to service it. And my advocacy, my rage against this has got to do with the protection for consumers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially since I think Mac makes a good majority off their of their money off the end user.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. I mean, that's the whole focus about buying a Mac. And not only do you get the cream of the crop laptop, you buy it for its looks, you buy it for its usability, you buy it for its durability.
Yeah,
and that's the key point.
Yeah, and if you can't support that, then
yeah. I know. I really hope Apple changes their ways a little bit with this. But
well, the other thing that I kind of always had about Apple is the fact that everything that they do is always Apple branding, and this support issue is not a new thing. It's been going on for a really long time. I remember when the iPods and the iPod Minis first came out. And I was working in retail in an electronics store, and we would have people and they would come in and they would freeze up all the time. And one of the things about their branding, the whole style behind it was, you get certain ones like that were limited edition colors, like the mint green or, like the metallic pink.
Oh, right.
And people were paying thousands of dollars on eBay to get these things, and then they'd freeze up. And the only thing that we could do when they would bring them into us is send them off the factory, and they just factory reset it. You just lost everything. Fortunately, iTunes is always, backed up whatever you had on there. But the problem is if it came in like more than twice, they would just go, okay, a factory reset's not going to cut it, so they just send you a new one. But they wouldn't send you
the special edition.
The special edition that you had. They would just send you a new replacement, and that was good enough.
Wow.
So it was. Even back then, like this has been going on for more than a decade.
Wow. Before we get too much further, actually, we got a package in last night.
It's like Christmas
from Jet Art. Cool.
Other generic gift-giving holiday.
So I'm actually gonna. I haven't seen what's inside the box here, so we're gonna see. Here. You figure I cut enough boxes, I should be better at this. Jet Art is a supplier for mouse pads, computer peripherals, including computer fans and other stuff.
Package filler.
Do you want a bag full of bags? That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Oh, wow.
We could probably use that. I'll just put that over here.
You got one of these?
Excellent.
There's two inside the box. And one of these. There we go. One's a Q.
What's that?
What are the differences? Oh, this one's like a soft cloth. And this was like a premium soft touch. Okay, cool. Anyway, we're going to do an episode about these and some other Jet Art products. I really like their mouse pads. Their mouse pads were actually what we're using here right now.
Mine's the same.
And they're really comfortable, really easy to use. Yeah. I wish they had more. And that's one of the other things we're going to do is we're going to try and push them and see, we can get some more worldwide coverage for them because the mouse pads are excellent. I really like them, and they're not that expensive too. So there you go.
Yeah, they're firm. They're pretty solid, but they're still soft to the touch.
Yeah, that's right. Tracks well too. Next up, we got the Nvidia GeForce GTX 1180. What? Yeah, really. So that goes to here. Ta-da! All right. This article is also from WCCFtech.com, and basically they are talking about the new specs. The cards haven't been released yet, but they should be coming out this year. They think around summer or early fall. And so the 1180s look really nice.
Yeah, very slick. Kind of has a nice shield helicarrier look to it.
Well, yeah, and this too is actually the reference Nvidia design. They're all like this. Yeah. Only the stamped branding is different on the label, like the GTX. Oh, did you take that? That's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, according to the latest leaks, what we got here? Yeah, it's going to be powered by 104 class GPU, codenamed GT104, and it has 3,584 CUDA cores, 256-bit DDR6 memory, and between 8 and 16 gigs of that DDR6, and hopefully a core clock around 1.6 gigahertz with a boost of 1.8. And they said the TDP is expected to be 170 to 200 watts, so it's fairly, you know, in the ballpark of normal or other cards, you know, but this is definitely a higher end card because some of the, you know, video cards do around 130, 140 for TDP's the total power draw, I think, total distribution of power. And I'll do one more here. I think I have one more. Yeah. And they expect the performance. I'm not sure if this is a confirmed benchmark or not, but they posted up some stats here. This is what they expect. The 1180 is going to come around 151, I guess, FPS versus the Titan XP, which would be 135, and the 1080 is sitting at 100. So there you go. Okay. So that's a relative performance for that. So go check it out on that website there. But that looks pretty good.
Is that in order?
Yeah. Next one up is something special. We're going to do video for the first time. And basically, the next one up is going to be Spider-Man. So if you can talk about that.
Okay, so...
You won't have a thing on it for the only video. So yeah, just read it from here.
Oh, okay. There we go.
And I will put it on.
Oh,
first half to
give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay, PlayStation news. We got Infinity War Iron Man Spider Suit, or the Iron Spider Suit, for PlayStation, comes with the game pre-order.
Yeah. So that looks pretty good. So yeah, they collaborated with what is it? Sony Interactive Entertainment, Insomniac Games, Marvel Games, and Marvel Studios to actually get all the rights for the costume, because, you know, different companies own this and they have to pass it through. But get the Iron Spider suit from the Avengers Infinity War and put it right into the PS4 game. So that's really awesome. I'm looking forward to playing this game even more now. So that's really great.
Sorry, my phone's being finicky. I keep randomly typing stuff instead of scrolling.
Yeah, just back out to get out of the edit mode. All right, next up we have some Xbox news, which is what you're on.
Okay, here we go. That video looked pretty good, by the way.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing that game.
Okay, so let me try and catch up here.
Okay, I'll read the headline here. I have it right.
All right.
Xbox One could soon have 120 hertz high refresh rate option. And actually, it's the news hideout is could soon have this, but actually the Xbox people who are working on this actually said that they're going to make it happen. Mm-hmm. They just don't know exactly when or something. They said it's coming in an update, hopefully fairly soon, end of this month or beginning of next month, they think.
So but, they're going to do like a firmware rollout for that, or?
Yeah, it'll be an update for Xbox One owners. So that's pretty awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool. I haven't played Xbox in a while.
It has been a while. All right. And I am up next.
All right.
And this is you found this article here.
Yeah. I was actually wandering around not too long ago, and I saw this released in a store in the digital market. If you haven't been to Taipei at all, there is an area, and it's like 2 shopping malls, and then like a couple of blocks around it, and it's all electronic equipment. It's, you know, it's an absolute candy land for, you know, people who love tech.
Yeah, Guanghua computer market. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just it was pretty cool. But this is actually one of the things that I saw is the Nintendo Labo, and neat. Like, they got a lot of cool stuff coming out for these kits.
Like, what is it?
Effectively, what it is it's sort of a do-it-yourself cardboard prop making kit that you put around your Nintendo Switch controllers, and it allows you to kind of build your own props so that you feel more immersed in the action. And as you can see by like what's up on the screen here, there's one, you know, that allows you to build like a power suit. There's others, you know, here you got like for a bicycle with handlebars, and then this Switch controllers built into the handlebars. And these kits come all like, you know, sort of prefabbed, but you have to cut them out and put them together.
Yeah, they have that cardboard marks where you can fold the cardboard and stuff and then assemble them. Right?
And then you can like, you know, paint them or accessorize them with stickers, you know, whatever you want.
I saw one that was a piano. There was a piano one in here too. Yeah, there it is.
There you
go. And they got Bill Nye. That's awesome.
Yeah. What was one of the other ones that I saw?
Oh yeah, there's a backpack. This is kind of crazy. There's a backpack which allows you to act like a robot.
Yeah.
And I saw that one before. But I mean, for small kids, maybe not too bad. But then again, for adults too, you know, the amount of power that you put through a cardboard box, I'm not too sure how long that would last.
Well, the other thing too is, you know, we live in a very humid environment. So, you know, I mean, these things would be, you know, kind of nice, disposable fun. You know, most of the fun would be in putting it together and then, you know, playing with it for a couple of days. But, you know, the cardboard would deteriorate.
Unless, you know, even like treated cardboard or something else like that, you know, would you know, it's humid here, so it's going to deteriorate. And plus, what happens if you fall on, you know, you trip, or either kids, right, who are going to play with it, they fall on it, they crush it, now they can't use it anymore. But
well, and the other thing too is, you know, we had on Tech Radar, I read a review about it, and you know, they had like a lot of, you know, good things to say, and you know, a couple of negative points. One of the negative points being that they don't come with replacement pieces. So if you make a mistake when you're cutting it out, you know, that's it. You're just out of luck. So my recommendation on that would be, if you could, is to scan them before you cut into them, make a template, and then that way if you fall on it and crush it, or if you make a mistake when you're cutting it out, you have a template and you can just
that's smart.
Redraw it on just any cardboard box, such as the, you know, one that our stuff came shipped in, or you know, go down to your local
supply.
Local supermarket, whatever.
FedEx, UPS.
Yeah.
There we go. That's cool.
Okay.
So we're into the Nintendo news right now, and the next one we have up is that the Nintendo president Tatsumi Kimishima, is to step down. He's been the interim president, for a little while now. He's going to hand over the reins to 46-year-old Shuntaro Furukawa, and Mr. Furukawa has a 15-year history at Nintendo. He helped plan out the marketing for the Switch, and this is part of Nintendo's shift towards younger management with 46 years old. Well, you know, for Japan, that's pretty good, because a lot of presidents are like 60, 65, right? Nintendo actually planned for Mr. Kimishima to be temporary president until the Switch's sales solidified. Then the job would pass to Mr. Furukawa. So this is kind of already planned out to begin with. So that's, you know, it's good that they're changing in for the younger management. They said it would help him keep in touch with the younger generation at 46. Oh, okay. I get that. All right, I suppose. Okay.
All right. More on Nintendo. Here we go. Nintendo Switch sold 15 million consoles in the fiscal year of 2017. I thought that actually probably would have been higher, but
yeah, their fiscal year started 2016 for the Switch, and so they have some sales already before that time. I think they had it says they had like 2.79 million in the last fiscal year, and this one just ended, so they sold 15 million this year, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so if the Switch sales keep on track, then it will go up to 37 million in just 2 years' time, which is really amazing.
Yeah, that is impressive. I'm looking forward to see what else they come out with for that platform.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Next up we have We're getting better at the switching thing. Next up, we have the... Oh, yeah, right. Oh, that is the next article, but that's okay. I'll cover the other games and stuff. They actually... Okay, so this is Dbrands, and they have Nintendo Switch skins, and the new ones that they're releasing guarantee no damage to the actual Switch unit. Because beforehand, usually with Nintendo, especially Nintendo handheld portables, they'll find some ways to clip it on the device, like, you know, Game Boy Advance or, you know, 3DS. They'll have a shell that will clip on. Yeah. But these Joy-Cons, because they need to be in your hand and they also need to clip onto the Switch, it's extremely hard for them to clip anywhere on the thing. I guess Nintendo didn't plan ahead with little holes or something to help manufacturers with this. The only way to do it up to now is to actually use adhesive to stick it onto the Switch Joy-Cons. And what happens is of course, if the adhesive isn't good quality or, you know, doesn't, like the 3M tacks or whatever, if you take off the adhesive, you know, you'll often take off some paint, right? Yeah, the 3M is really good, though, because you can pull it down and it'll actually release from the paint generally without any issues.
Well, is it statically applied?
No, it's actually adhesive.
Okay.
It's actually adhesive, but this adhesive will release from the Switch Joy-Cons and or panel. I'm not too sure exactly what they're offering here, but yeah, at least from the Joy-Cons themselves without damaging them, which is good. Yeah. So you can, you know, turn around and sell it in a year or two without hopefully any damage. Although generally speaking, the longer you leave adhesive on there, the more chance there is of it taking off something,
or at least leaving the sticker grunge behind. You know, because all the like dust and oils from your hands and, you know, whatnot slowly get under any sort of adhered surface.
And you can't obviously, like, normally use cleaner or something to take that off, or like nail polish remover, but I wouldn't recommend that, you know, on a plastic, because it can dissolve plastic, and I've had that happen before.
Yeah, especially a lot of lightweight plastics tend to be really susceptible to solvents.
That's true. On the topic of Nintendo, we actually have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. It just released as of May the 4th, so 2 days ago there. And yeah, it looks really nice. I didn't grab any gameplay trailer, but that's okay for next time. The video was just a test for this time, so we'll have hopefully some more video and stuff. But actually, we probably couldn't show that anyways, because Nintendo's really, really sticky about what you can show. And I don't want to get into any trouble, so...
Yeah.
Nintendo, please change your policy, and then we can show your footage, promote your games and other stuff, but Nintendo's been Nintendo like this for many years. Aintree Jo has produced lots of videos about that.
Or sponsor us, make it official.
There we go. They have a pro... Similar to the Nvidia GPP program, they have a program where you can get sponsored by Nintendo. But guess what? You have to sign up to their terms and regulations, and
let me guess that means no reviewing other platforms.
No, not exactly like that. But there's certain things you can and can't say.
Okay.
And so that seems like we present honest, fair reviews of stuff.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think I would feel good being bound like that.
Yeah, and they've screwed over other YouTubers, before, notably Aintree Jo, because he would do a review where he did one for Zelda, where he loved Breath of the Wild, and, he had some valid concerns about some of the gameplay, but he uploaded it twice. Before the third time, he had to, change his content 2 times before Nintendo didn't auto-claim this. And that's kind of... he makes a video where 1 million people will see it, and then Nintendo claims it. No, Nintendo, you don't get that money. Come on, that's he's built up this channel over years, getting all these followers to give your game already a glowing score, and you're going to claim it.
I think I'd rather invest in a unit and whatever games I might find interesting, and judge them fairly.
Yeah, and Total Biscuit did the same thing too. Yeah. He did a review on Nintendo where he actually kind of really pointed out the flaws of the game, and people dove on him and it's like, oh, you can't say this, but it's true. There's a climbing section in Zelda or whatever that was tedious, and you have to scale a cliff, and it's raining, and you keep falling down. It's like, this is supposed to be a fun game.
Yeah, I remember a game like that. And it was like just a series of really, really narrow bridges, and it was one of the first, sort of three-dimensional backgrounds.
Yeah.
Where, you know, it was really hard to line it up because it was still a side-scroller. I don't remember what game it was. But, you know, it was, you had to kind of line it up this way, but you're going based off of like a pseudo 3D environment.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And so, like, it was really tough, but it was bridge after bridge after bridge. You'd, like, go like this, man.
Wow.
I wish I could remember the game, but yeah. The game was really, really fun up until that point, and then after that, I'm like, no, this is stupid.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. Next up, we got the Switch Pro controller, now officially supported on Steam. So this is great. Steam has already supported Xbox controllers and PlayStation controllers, and now they said because of the Switch Pro controllers has a really good interface system that they would actually support it. There's a caveat. You have to sign up for the Steam client beta. This article is from steamcommunity.com, by the way. And yeah, basically they said the D-pad's ideal for fighting games and platformers, and the gyro inside enhances aim in action and FPS titles. So you get into the Steam client beta, and then they'll have a step-by-step tutorial about how to set it up. So that looks pretty good. It's on the same page to enable PS4 and Xbox configuration support. And also, you can create, share, and browse Switch Pro controller configurations for every game. So it's like, okay, if you just want to get started, you can just download one and enable it, and there you go. You can start playing. And if you don't like it, you can change it. And if you think the changed one is much better, or you know, a different version that other people would like, you can share it too, which is really nice. I really like this idea from Steam.
Yeah, actually, I'm a big fan of Steam, and you know, kind of the way that, you know, they are a community of gamers for gamers, and so, you know, just every aspect of their business model has just sort of been built around, you know, what could we do for the community of gamers?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so that they never really cease to impress me. You know, just
yeah, and I played a lot more games due to Steam. I really wasn't into Steam for like several years. I didn't care about it. And but actually I started looking at games, and my friends were telling me, hey man, they got a sale on, a summer sale, and when, you know, winter sale is like summer sale, and you go on there and it's like, you know, finding the bargain bin at like Electronics Boutique or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I can get this game for half price. Like, wow. And you don't have to even leave your house. It's already like heavily discounted. And or you could pick up that plus the other games in the series all for a discount. Or you could pick up all that with a DLC or something. Oh, wow.
Well, you know, and I mean, the other thing too is they always have like amazing specials on various different games, you know, where they'll bundle a game with all the downloadable content.
Yeah.
Before, you know, the actual game developers will do that. You know, the game developers every so often will just kind of, you know, they'll bundle things together before their next release in that franchise.
Yeah.
But, you know, Steam does it almost immediately. So if you don't even have the game yet, you know, you have a chance to get the deluxe edition with all the current DLC.
Yeah.
And, you know, that part is really, really cool. The other thing that I like about
Game
them,
of the Year, Game of the Year release editions too. So like a year and a half after it, you know, they'll do an edition where it includes all the DLC together.
And you know, the other thing too is they'll, you know, like a lot of times they'll have like a lot of trials on games that you otherwise wouldn't be able to, you know, decide, you know, is this a game I'm going to enjoy? Instead, you're like popping out like $80 to buy this game. Yeah. And then you're like, well,
they have a good return policy too. I think if you play less than 2 hours, you try, you just say, no, that's totally not my thing. You can refund the money, which is good. And they have the best thing is that, you know, if you have a game, you're like, I'm kind of looking at this game, or I kind of want this game, but maybe I don't have a lot of cash right now. You can put it on your wish list, and you can get notified so that, you know, when it goes on sale, you get a notification like, hey, I can buy this game now, especially if it's like a AAA title.
Well, and their multi-platform support is just absolutely incredible. You know, like, you know, you can get games for like, you know, PC or Linux, or, you know, it's just right across the board. And I don't
integrated with HTC Vive and Oculus Rift as well. Yeah. On to some PC news. Speaking of Steam, on to some PC news.
All right, here we go. AMD Combat Crate, CPU plus GPU plus motherboard.
Basically, this one has been created by AMD to Basically, they're trying to make it easier for people to get graphics cards because of the huge Bitcoin and a cryptocurrency rush. Getting a GPU for a decent price has been really, really difficult because usually graphics cards fall in price after release, but they've actually almost doubled.
We talked about that in our first broadcast, and saying like one of the downsides of this whole cryptocurrency market is the fact that these people are just snatching up all these graphics cards and not leaving a whole lot for people who want them for gaming purposes.
It's difficult for me too because I was considering getting into doing benchmarking, like getting a few cards in the range and then doing some benchmarking and maybe jumping on the latest card because those kind of videos do get a lot of views. And I was considering doing that, but the overhead cost for buying all these cards right now is crazy. I mean, there's no way I could afford that. Yeah. Even if you win a small lottery amount, you still be like, well, that's a fair amount for some cards, man. Yeah. Basically, this Combat creates a decent deal for people. I think you save like $50 by getting this deal. However, some people have already commented, said that they're kind of pushing out old hardware, trying to get rid of it, kind of stuff. Yeah. But at the same time, if you don't have these things already, then you can actually save a bit and get something going. If you're not waiting for the latest and greatest, then get a new computer. So yeah.
My phone is killing me.
Are you not in docks?
No.
Oh,
I was having some problems with docks.
I see.
Which,
right. So maybe for next time, docks, right? Because otherwise you get that. All right. Next up, we got
Frostpunk.
Yeah, Frostpunk, and that's on me. Oh, yeah, I wanted to show you guys a quick shot of the AMD. This is from videocards.com, by the way. We forgot to mention. That's all good. Yeah, so basically you get a Ryzen 7 1700 along with a RX 580 armor and MSI B350 Tomahawk, which is not a bad board by any means. So there you go. And there's the other one, yeah. Or there's two of them. One's a Ryzen 5 and the other is a Ryzen 7. And it's a MSI RX 580 armor. Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, sorry, going on to the next one. We have this one here, Frostpunk. Yeah.
Okay, and this is from DSOgaming.com.
Yeah, so basically they said that they'd sold 250,000 units in its first 66 hours.
Holy crap.
Which is amazing. That's just a little over 2.5 days. Yeah, 2.5 days it's sold that much. So I haven't seen the game yet. We should. Yeah. I was trying to grab gameplay, but I ran out of time. You already delayed our live show today by like 5 hours trying to work out some technical issues because we're still getting all our components in that we need. Well,
yeah, yeah, we're working out the bugs and trying to set it up so that it's as smooth and with all the features that we possibly can.
I wanted to show you guys something. Filler.
Yeah, so he's just he's grabbing something at the moment, but let's get back to Frostpunk real quick. Good job, guys. Can't wait to see what you got. Oh, here we go.
There you go. So yeah, I picked up some stuff. These are all keyboards. So yeah, I was going to do some keyboard reviews coming up. We got a couple of white keyboards because white's a trend that's happening right now, like silver and white themed computers. And I try to put my money where my mouth is, and if I say, hey, this is a trend coming up, why not buy into that a little bit? So I can't compete with Linus Tech Tips with the amount of keyboards that I got, but still, 5 is...
I only have 2 hands.
5 is not too bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got these two, which are both... This one's white, as you can see, and another one here. This will be coming up in our next review. I think it's our next one that we're doing this one. This one or Jet Art is next.
Okay, yeah, we got the headphones down.
Yeah, so we got the IROX K62E and a B-Friend GK3. A throwaway Logitech, but I wanted to check it out, just see how it is, you know, because I haven't bought a basic Logitech in forever. It's been a long time.
Yeah, well, my last keyboard that I bought was a wireless Logitech for my laptop, which I don't use often, but you know, I do like it. Logitech is usually plug and play.
And they're very, very reliable.
Yeah.
I had no major issues with any of their things. You know.
Yeah, yeah. They're very durable. They're very reliable. They're often very simple.
Speaking of wireless, I got the MK270R, so we're gonna check that one out too. And also, I'm looking forward to reviewing this baby, which is a G213 Prodigy. So that's RGB. Nice. So that'll be nice too. So those are all coming up. Along with a monitor review. We got a 4K. So we'll see how that goes. Lots of stuff planned for the channel, but just stay tuned, yeah. Okay, next one. That's on right, got it. Okay. So there we go. We got so big news. In China, the Chinese police arrested 15 more PUBG cheat sellers. And they were fined over $6 million US.
US, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. This adds to the number that there was already 120 people arrested by Chinese authorities for the creation and distribution of PUBG cheats, and 15 more have been rounded up. So, yeah, evidently developing and selling hacking and cheating programs that affect PUBG is not something that you can do.
Well, I mean, the thing is Chinese internet security is probably one of the more strict, you know, globally.
Yeah.
So, you know, one of the things is China sort of has restricted access to a lot of outside, companies and developers, especially, you know, surrounding social media. And they always try to, you know, make their own versions of each of these products with the pride behind the idea that, you know, they can do it better.
Yeah, or you know, enable their players or their friends or you know whoever they can sell to get a little bit more, and then, you know they can make a buck on it like this.
But you know, so when they see something like this, it just sort of adds like a little bit of a smear to their image. So to me, it's no surprise that they're cracking down on that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that article is from Kotaku.com. Australia. Next one we got up.
Okay, here we go.
This one's from DSLgaming.com.
Yeah. Hellblade's devs surprised by the PC sales despite developing it as primarily a PlayStation 4 game.
It says that 50% of the sales were actually coming from the PC because they made it for PlayStation 4. And then they said, well, maybe we can do a port and see if there's any interest on PC. And there's quite a lot. So... they actually apologized. I like these devs sound pretty cool because they actually apologized and they said they actually dropped the ball on PC support from day one. Yeah. But they've been working super hard to try and patch it and make it playable because the controller support was there. But they saw that on the PC, lots of people were using mouse and keyboard setups, and it wasn't quite optimized for that.
Well, and that's been like, you know, I guess a constant social war between, like, you know, PC and console.
PC master race, console gamers.
Yeah,
I know.
You know, so it sort of surprises me that it took them as long as it did to realize that. But you're right, it's really cool that they, you know, realized their mistake. You know, they're taking efforts to correct that, and you know, the fact that they apologized for the lack of support on the PC side. So
they actually patched it up pretty quick. I think in the first week or something of release, they put in their first patch to try and make it a little bit better. But they said they promised that they will get everything right for the PC gamers too. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. It sounds like some really nice devs there.
Okay, so what are we up to?
Next up will be the PC Building Simulator. Has sold 100,000 copies in its first month. If you want to practice building your own computer, then this article is from DSLgaming.com. We saw a couple of videos already on YouTube about it. It looks pretty interesting, and you have to actually apply thermal paste before you put on your cooler and plug in your wires and stuff. So, you know, it can give you some kind of experience or training as to how to assemble a computer without frying your components, which is nice. Is it authentic 100%? No, not exactly. Yeah. But it's a good, you know, sim game.
Well, you know, I think that you know, it's also kind of a good idea because it gives people like a little bit more of a chance to learn without feeling like you're learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because this way you can try things out and you can see if they work.
Yeah.
Without worrying about the consequences of making a mistake.
And there's a lot of licensed products too. So I mean, you can buy like Cooler I'm just naming some names, but like Cooler Master or CryoRig or something like that. You can buy some parts, MSI, Asus. I don't know if those exact names are in the game, but they have some big names that I'm just mentioning some names. And then you could, you know, select these parts and try and put them together inside. And that's cool too, because you could, you know, plan out or design a build and see how it would look before you went out and bought the parts, which is nice. This next one, I'm really excited for.
Oh, I'm super excited. Rick found it, and I totally geeked out. There may have even been a tiny little
squeal, like wee.
All right, Cyberpunk. It's been a long time since we've, you know, seen anything regarding this subject, but Cyberpunk 2077. Did you actually get it? Is there's video on that, or
there's only a very, very quick trailer, like just kind of like a teaser. Is like, hey, we have something in the works. Speaking of CDPR, by the way, is CD Projekt Red, and this article is coming from TweetTown, by the way. But they have basically it's putting two and two together. So CD Projekt Red has bought space at E3 2018, and they're going to be debuting something there or showing off something there, and probably it's going to be a beta or you know, some version of Cyberpunk 2077.
Now, if they get this even half right, I'm totally down for this. You know, like I'm really, really excited to see this. So the instant any extra footage or, you know, any news comes up about this, you know, I'm pretty sure that we're both going to be on it. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to see this. Like, I go back to the old like role-playing games, Talosorian, Cyberpunk. Like, I absolutely loved it back in my teens, and you know, after a while it just sort of it faded off, and then our Talosorian got sold, and the company that had bought them, and I don't remember their name, they had these great plans that they were going to rejuvenate the whole system and like put it out, and they were talking about like video game developments, and it all looked really, really exciting, and then it just never went anywhere.
Oh no. So now it's...
so now we got something. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, well, we'll be keeping up on this. Witcher 3 was an amazing game too.
Yeah,
you definitely got to play some more of that.
Yeah, I definitely do. Yeah. I just recently put it back on my computer. So
there you go. Yeah. All right, next up we got Kingdom Come Deliverance, and some kind of sad news for this one because it says that they have lost 95% of their PC player base since launch, which kind of sucks for them. It's the biggest new Steam title of 2018 and one of the most talked about and controversial games of the year. But they launched in February, and already is 95% people are not playing that game anymore, which kind of sucks. They had 96,000 concurrent players. But that's a lot of players at the same time, which is amazing. And you guys have to think, and it's more than major titles like Far Cry 5 so far, which had... Sorry, yeah, that's right. 96,000 for Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is more than Far Cry 5, which had 92,000 peak players, and Warhammer Vermintide 2, which had 73,000 peak players. It's kind of sad because you have to think about the amount of, you know, sure, okay, the company has got your money, but that's not the point. They've also invested tons of resources and hardware into supporting, you know, the online players for months to come. They've bought, you know, purchased all this equipment. They have it in place to support this big player base. They want it to be a good experience for their players, and then you just kind of that sucks.
Now, do they speculate at all as to what caused the drop off, or is it like
it doesn't actually say. It doesn't actually say what the cause was, but generally speaking, if it's a controversial game, maybe just the play dynamics weren't good, or people just didn't find it interesting, the interactions with their co-players interesting enough to keep going in this game when they could play PUBG or some other title instead. And PUBG killed a lot of like other games that were gonna, this is gonna be a great game, and then PUBG came out and everybody's playing it, except for us.
That's
so far. We'll get into that very shortly.
Yeah, but I guess this is a little bit sad, but sometimes that happens where certain games just will suck everybody in, and then they don't want to do anything other than play that one game, and that can really hurt, because there are a lot of good games out there.
Yeah, there really are. That article is from WCCFtech.com. And by the way, the current numbers for the game, it was at a peak at 96,000, is hovering between the 2,000 to 4,000 player range right now. So I feel bad for those guys.
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe there will be a resurgence.
Hopefully.
People might want something a little bit different than PUBG, or
just not hopefully an Independence Day resurgence. I did like the movie though. It was a good movie. Good to see Brent Spiner on screen again. Yeah. That was good. Entertainment news.
All right, here we go.
This is updated because I had the one that the sales were expected to do, and then a new article came out yesterday. This is from CNET.com.
Apologies.
Basically, it says that Disney announced Saturday that the movie is expected to cross the $1 billion mark in global box office in a record-setting 11 days since its release. That's crazy.
Yeah, I already... what was the figures? Opening weekend. Does it actually say opening weekend there?
Yeah, it does. That's why I dropped it in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I actually looked at the one on the monitor there. But yeah, opening weekend sales were absolutely incredible. Thank you.
250 million.
Yeah, 250 million on opening weekend, and crossing the 800 million mark on Wednesday.
Yeah, and that actually beat out the Star Wars: The Force Awakens record-breaking 248 million, which is just crazy. Yeah, and those statistics by themselves sound really great, but you have to realize that for some movies they won't release in every single theater.
Yeah.
So I guess like most of the theaters, they're getting more and more theaters to participate for Marvel releases, so they can get more money. Because obviously they're limited by number of seats and times and how fast they can. The movie has a certain length. They have to rush everyone out at the end, clean it quick, and then open it.
Well, and a lot of theaters outside of big cities, or even a lot of the ones around big cities, usually are limited, like with 1 or 2 screens.
Yeah.
So their run is often a lot shorter, or they will cycle those with other ones. So you have like the early show will be whatever their new one is, and then the next showing is whatever last week's premiere was, and that's kind of how they have to cycle them through. So
true. All right, next news.
Next news. Margot Robbie's new movie coming up, Terminal. One of the reasons that I'm actually kind of intrigued about this is because it's a thriller, but it stars 2 people that don't really seem likely for a thriller, which just kind of got me curious about it, and I would really like to check this out. Would be Simon Pegg and Mike Myers. Now, when I first saw the trailer for this, I actually had to jump back and look at it again. Because I'm like, oh my God, is that Mike Myers? Wow. I almost didn't recognize him. It was just like, that thought of like, I've seen that guy somewhere before. That's Mike Myers.
Wow. Yeah, because we haven't really seen him on the big screen. He's been in Shrek. You know,
well, and actually,
that,
apparently there is a new Shrek coming up. I don't know exactly when. It's still in development, but you know,
the most recent thing I've seen him on TV was Saturday Night Live. He did a small stint on there for a night.
Yeah,
but he hasn't been on the big screen too much.
Yeah, he's also been on Last Week Tonight.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, where they were talking about the Canadian election a couple years ago.
Right, with John Oliver?
John Oliver, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
But other than that, he's got this. He recently wrote a book.
Cool. Well, I mean, the guy's made so many movies that,
yeah.
you know, maybe he just wanted to, you know, focus or try to do something new. So.
Well, I mean, he does a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, you know, it's been a while since we've seen him on the big screen, but at no point does that mean, like, you know, he's been taking any sort of time off. He's apparently really, really busy, like, behind the scenes on projects. And
Cool. Next up.
Oh. This one. This one, actually, I think there's a lot of anticipation. Unfortunately, not as much information at this time. Oh, you already got it.
Yeah.
All right. Not much information at this time. But Niantic, who brought us like Ingress and Pokemon Go, is currently in development with Warner Brothers to bring us Harry Potter: Wizards Unite.
That looks really... So, wait a second. So we're going to have a Pokemon Go type experience with Harry Potter.
Yes. And apparently the way this goes is, I think they've broken it up into houses. But like I said, there hasn't been much, release. But it's your typical, like Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff. But you can go around and, you're kind of choosing sides, I guess, whether, you're a good wizard or, dark wizard. You learn spells as you go.
Wow.
And
that's going to be awesome. I wonder if it's going to be more like an Ingress style game or Pokemon Go. Yeah.
I think it's kind of half, because the other news that came out of Niantic, and this is actually straight off of their website, nianticlabs.com.
Cool.
But Niantic, since it's been about 5 years since the release of Ingress, and that was still sort of a learning process. Like, that goes, back to when they were still owned by Google.
Right.
And because it was a big learning process, and they were developing as they went, after they kind of released it to the test market.
Yeah.
They learned a lot from that, and then separately developed the Pokemon Go engine.
Right.
So now what they're looking to do is that they're going to remodel the Ingress engine itself after what they did with Pokemon. And as far as I know, the Wizards Unite is going to run based off the same engine, so that when they roll out updates to the core, they can just do it for all three at the same time. Nice.
I wonder if you have to catch wizards and Pokeballs. That'd be interesting. Hermione, come over here.
That would be a really, really good crossover. You sit there and you do a strike, blow a whole bunch of portals, throw a Pokeball, and catch a wizard.
Another Weasley.
But yeah, so this game is supposed to include like all of the fantastic creatures from the Harry Potter universe and everything. So, maybe that Pokeball thing is not all that far off.
That would be awesome, especially if they included the stuff from the Fantastic Beasts.
Well, as far as I know, it's all supposed to be in there, because it's enveloping the world of Harry Potter without actually like anyone being a significant character in it.
Okay, that's cool. And of course, Niantic's really good for having a good core game, and then they release new content. So
yeah, they got a little bit slow there with Ingress, and I stopped playing it for a really long time. And I think about 2 weeks ago, I put it back on my phone and just started wandering around, because I'm like, oh hey, I'm in a new country. There's tons of portals I haven't hit here.
Yeah, I would still be, it's kind of sad, because I was super into Pokemon Go. Like when I came to Canada to visit you, that was the release week of Pokemon Go, and that was crazy. I was running around like downtown Vancouver and Burnaby and stuff trying to catch Pokemon because it wasn't released yet in Taiwan at that time. It was still another 2 weeks off. Yeah. So I was getting that first initial craze, and then I came back here, and it was already crazy back home. Yeah. But I came back here, and we were right beside a park. It was just packed, like 1,000 people.
It was
in
like
the park.
What was it? Like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and we just gotten out of the metro.
We couldn't walk
from downtown. Home. Yeah, and went to go walk through this park, and there was literally hundreds of people, like right next to the library. And it was just so, like, they were just all kind of standing there with their phones, and, you know, we're trying to get around them. At one point, I saw this couple, and they had, like, a baby in a backpack, you know, kind of, you know, and both, you know, the dad had, like, 2 phones, and the mom had 1 phone. And I, like, looked at the baby, and I'm like, I know, where's your phone, right?
And don't get me wrong, like, I went home, I changed, because, you know, Taiwan, you get kind of sweaty and hot. But I changed. I went back out of the park to play Pokemon Go with them. But you know, I kind of wish they had the battling option, not just like for you know, trainer
arenas.
Arenas, yeah. Thank you.
I've never played the game. I just know that because everyone around me did.
But I mean, you know, the huge thing for Pokemon was that you could battle your friends, and that's what everyone has been clamoring for since day one. Well, I want to battle my friend. And don't forget that a year and a half ago or more, they talked about actually being able to trade Pokemon with your friends. Yeah. And I have a Pokemon saved for my buddy in Canada that we've been waiting to trade because he can't get them, not legally, you know. And so I want to do it the legal way, of course. I respect Niantic. So I've been waiting to trade it with. I can't trade it with them because there's a feature that hasn't come yet. They say, "Oh, we're going to do this," and they never did it. So thanks, Niantic. But hopefully, you know, maybe in a future update. Can you imagine if you could battle your friends? Niantic, get on this, man, because I want to battle my friends. I'll start playing Pokemon Go tomorrow.
Well, I wonder if Harry Potter's going to do Wizard Duels too. That would be awesome.
See, okay, so maybe they'll do Wizard Duels, and then what'll happen is because
retroactively put it through the
because they'll update the engine and then make it Pokemon Go. Okay, all right, maybe
that to me would be a good enough excuse as to why it's taken them so long to do the dual thing, because that was one of the first requests, I guess, that came after they released the game from the general public. Yeah, was, you know, we'd like to have duels. You know, like, and battle our friends.
Yeah. Last but not least is the Play Asia news, okay? And so, I've taken it upon myself. They haven't contacted me or asked me to do this by any means. Play Asia is a great site for ordering games, especially if you're not living in America or Canada, because getting international, like English versions of RPGs in Asia is impossible. It's very, very hard, unless it's like a Final Fantasy international version where they have multiple languages. And
even then you have to go hunting for them. Yeah. You know, like true. most stores will, you know, carry the local language edition. Yeah.
So this site's amazing, and they have some decent deals. They're fairly competitive with Amazon. And so the first one I want to show up here, there's a pre-order. Yeah, pre-order for July 17th for Adventure Time, Pirates of the Enchiridion. Okay. Anyway, Adventure Time. If you're a fan, maybe go check this out. On for $40 pre-order. Next one we have is Turu Darkness. I'm not so much into anime anymore. I used to be a little bit into it, but this one here is a t-shirt. They have a whole bunch of other stuff here too. But this one, I left the NT on here by accident. This one I think is like $46 US for this t-shirt, and they have dark ones and white and black shirts too. So there's that, and also Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has special edition and also a normal edition. The special edition is there we go. Special edition is $134. Whoa, that's crazy. And comes with 220-page illustrated premium hardbound art book, music CD, premium metal game case, and looks pretty awesome. But if you want the normal game, it's just $65. So there we go. And after that comes Dark Souls Remastered. And that is not published or released, but they are doing pre-orders, and it will be released this month on the 25th. And you can pre-order that for $40. And we have 2 more to go, and that will be the end for us today. Dragon's Crown Pro also. Oh, this is coming up real soon. This is coming up on the 15th of this month. Dragon's Crown Pro is a really awesome kind of side-scrolling classic, like Knights of the Round fighting game.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah. It's very, very similar to that, and it has a cel-shaded, and the characters are all unique and interesting. So some are a little over-exaggerated, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Some are a little weirdly proportioned, but they have unique characters.
Well, I mean, that was true in Knights of the Round, too.
That is true. But the remaster looks really awesome, including it has, you can use your PS3 saves. You have online cross-play, so you can play with other players. With other.
I thought you meant you could alter the gender of the character. That's actually pretty cool. Maybe more game developers should get on that.
They have the characters that you can choose from.
No, I understand that.
They have a cross-save compatibility, so you can use your PS3 and PS4 saves. And it looks really awesome. And this is going for $50. So I'll probably check that out. I actually own Dragon's Crown for PS3, and that was really fun already. I might want to play that tonight, actually. That's pretty good. Very last thing we have up... My voice is going because I'm talking so much here. Last thing we have up is the Valkyria Chronicles. PlayAsia.com has some models that you can buy. So some are safe for work, some are not safe for work, so be warned. Okay. This one here is a little sexy, I suppose, but the models are all kind of expensive, and they.
Well, I mean, they are no matter where you buy them.
That's true. That is true. This one goes for $166 US, and it's a pre-order deadline of the 24th. Looks really nice. I have another close-up shot here.
Now, is that a vinyl kit, or is that all pre-assembled?
It's pre-assembled.
Okay.
It looks exactly like that right out of the box. So that's the model right there. A couple other shots there, but the detail and quality on this is really nice. So There you go. I haven't been into I used to pick up some Masamune Shiro models like Ghost in the Shell and other kind of models because the
Appleseed. And,
those designs. I only had like two or three of them, and you brought one from Canada. You brought a couple of them from Canada. I think it was in one of the boxes that you Shane's my bro. He helped me out a lot because when I first came over to Asia, there's no way I could have taken my Transformers and other models and other toys and stuff that I had in boxes, and so he actually hooked me up with some storage in Canada because in Canada you have a bit more room. Asia's not so much, but I know that you brought some of the Shiro models. So thankfully, thanks to him, I still have them because I've been living over here for 10 years. So it's like, I miss my stuff. So it's been really awesome. But
it was funny too because we did a little kind of a shopping trip because I was getting rid of my stuff in order to come out here, and I wasn't putting anything in storage, and so I was talking to him online, and he's like, just send me pictures of what you have. So I unpacked all this stuff and took photos, and he's like, okay, I want to keep that one. Okay, no, you can get rid of that one.
Well, that was hard for me too because how do you decide your teen years or your early adult years when you're collecting stuff or whatever over photos over the internet? And that was hard for me because I was like, damn. But at the same time, I didn't want to burden you carrying too much stuff, and plus you had your own stuff to bring. So I had to make yep, no, yes, no, this kind of decision. That was tough for me.
And I was doing that with my stuff at the same time. So he's deciding what he wants me to bring, and then I also have to figure out what am I getting rid of, what am I going to bring, and a good 70% of it it was a no contest, just okay. I gave most of my stuff away. I didn't bother to try and sell it or
but you did me a real big solid with that, man. Thank you so much.
Anytime, man.
It's cool. Some bro bonding moments here. you can see all this and more on Techspin Live. No. So we really appreciate you guys tuning in today. Hopefully you saw some cool articles. If you think about some other things that we should be covering or some other areas of interest, please leave a comment.
Yeah. Please subscribe and click that bell icon if you want some notifications. Whether you enjoy our content or you just want to see me drink coffee.
I'm trying to get on to at least. It's really difficult for me to make a lot of content for the channel. I know there's some people who can release daily content. They also have a team behind them. I'm a one man plus 0.5 show.
Well, no. Also, Irene does help a lot as well.
That's true.
Yeah,
she really does. So thanks to Irene as well. She's hooked us up with Jet Art, another sponsor for us. And yeah, thank you for reminding me of that. But we both have jobs that we do in the daytime, and it's difficult for us to research. And this weekend I spent the whole time researching a new workstation. I'm deciding on what motherboard to buy, what CPU to buy, what I can salvage from the other CPU and stuff. And it's crazy. I'm doing that while producing more episodes, and I have like eight or so episodes lined up here with all the stuff that I got. So new content's coming. We hope to do like a one content show where I'm reviewing a product and a live stream per week for now, until I get either a job situation fixed or something else going on. So
or win the lottery. Who knows? Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
All right, I checked. I haven't yet. I did that the other day. I was going through all my receipts.
Oh yeah. Something you may not know about Taiwan is that because they want shop owners to be legitimate and report their earnings to the government, they make it a lottery system. So every single receipt that you get has like a number at the top, and then every couple of months, I think it's 2-3 months or whatever, you can actually check the numbers to see if you won money. And you can, it's like 200 NT, which is like $7 or so.
Yeah.
But it's money that you can win just by buying stuff. So if you buy a coffee every day at 7-Eleven, you get a ton of receipts, and then you just check your receipts, and maybe you get 3 more free coffees out of it or something.
Yeah. And I mean, the prizes actually go up to be quite a bit, but the chances of winning those big prizes are really slim.
Yeah.
But the smaller prizes, like not too bad.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to win like $200 or something per month.
Yeah, and I recently looked into it. It's 2 months at a time.
Yeah.
So this year so far they've done January and February, March and April.
Oh yeah. And and by the way, the price of stuff here is like ridiculously low. So,
but
that's
yeah,
one of the other reasons
they haven't released the numbers for March and April yet, because they do that near the end of the following month.
Yeah. So we get like 7-Eleven has like a large latte for 55 NT, which is like $1.65 Canadian.
Yeah.
But it's medium size for back home.
Yeah.
But still, you can just walk in there, grab one of those. It's not too bad. Anyway, sorry. Well, I'm rambling here. Thank you for tuning in. Please do subscribe if you like content, and leave us some comments in the description. It would be great.
Yeah. And if there's anything that you see that any of your friends might be interested in, forward them a link to this channel.
Yeah, please do share with your friends. And any components you want to see reviewed, let us know too. I had a request for a Corsair gaming headset, so I don't know. I have a lot planned right now, but I'll see what I can do about that in a little bit. Yeah. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Rick.
I'm Shane.
All right, see you guys next time.
Have a good one.
All right, bye-bye.